Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Bonjour.
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 We're having a little pre-party for a beautiful, actually, week in Marseille, France. Actually, for some people, it'll be more than a week. At the end of June and beginning of July.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm actually about to go on a 6-week tour in Europe. I'll be in Vienna, Prague, London, taking a little jaunt to Armenia for a week, and then back to Europe, to France, to Marseille, for a Joy Business Facilitator training at the end of June. And we are going to be getting together with some other wonderful people to do a 2-day X-Men class, followed by a Sex and Bodies class in Marseille and also online, July 1st through the 3rd. So we wanted to come and do a little kickoff party here. I'm, being here at the lake, I'm in Seattle right now. It's getting me, and just with the beautiful weather, I'm so excited for summer. Oh my gosh. So excited for summer and to be in all these beautiful places. So
yeah. Can you tell the humming of the bodies right now? It's just stepping into those classes. I'm so excited, and we all are, and that makes me even more excited,
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Penelope. Too excited.
I'm gonna ask her to talk about, because well, actually, I did a Facebook Live yesterday in the Earth Wizards Facebook group that maybe we can link it up somehow here. But if you search the Earth Wizards on Facebook, you can ask to join that group. And I did a Facebook Live there about X-Men and the Earth and bodies, which to me is it's such a beautiful conversation. And I won't repeat it, but because people can watch it. But they're basically the kind of the theme, the gist of it is we, X-Men are very different creatures in the world. A lot of us don't think we're X-Men, or, if people are what is an X-Men? Am I an X-Men? And I'm always kind of it doesn't really matter. It's the classes, the X-Men classes are a conversation about difference and being your difference in the world and enjoying it, really enjoying it, and having tools that allow you to enjoy it rather than constantly think that you're wrong. And I love this combination of the X-Men class followed by a Sex and Bodies. Hello, everybody who's joining us. Followed by a Sex and Bodies class. I've done it once or twice before, I think, that combo. And it's amazing to really dive into a direct conversation about bodies and also sex, because that can be a really challenging area for people who are extraordinarily aware. And to do it in a beautiful place like Marseille, where we've got the earth, we've got the ocean, there's so much beauty, there's this hedonism that the French people are so good at, that I think is going to provide a really cool venue for these conversations. Even if you join us online, you still get to tap into that. So
yeah, and I've done Sex and Bodies once with you, and it was so amazing, because I'm people that are watching might be what is that about, what
yeah.
are we going to talk about? But what I recall, so it's a 1-day class, right? It's followed up, it's after the X-Men class, and X-Men is actually also a prerequisite, right? Either this one or another one. Is that true? Is that right?
Not always. So I don't know. I don't remember about this class. We'll have to look at it.
It's run at any time. An X-Men class at any time.
Anytime. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
The X-Men class at any time.
Yep.
Yeah. Just so you so it's easier. You can receive this conversation, and for me, the beauty of the time that I did it with you was that it was such a space of like where everything was possible and everything could be talked about, you know? So it's a 1 day class, and literally every question or yeah, whatever it is like can be talked about. So we really had conversations that I like, yeah, you don't hear that in many other places. So whether it's something that you feel ashamed about, or you don't dare to look at, or you just want to celebrate your body more, you know, all those energies are in there. And that's what I am always so grateful for with you, Heather, that there is this space where it's actually because of what you are being, those conversations just arise, you know.
Mm, yeah. Well, I have a weird capacity of not having judgment in that area. I mean, in a lot of areas really at this point, but it's just been one of those things where I've always been like, what's wrong with sex? Like, why is it so secret? Why can't we just talk about it? You know, I actually embarrass my children because I'm like, hey guys, like you've got a great resource here, you know, like don't, you know, I was joking with my son the other day. He was doing a sex ed unit in his class. You know, he's a senior in high school, and they're doing like a whole sex thing. You know, and I had to like sign like a thing saying a permission slip for him to participate. You know, and I was joking with him, and I was like, well, no, I think you should, I'm not going to let you take it because you really should learn this from your mom, you know? And then I'm like, actually, I was going to ask the teacher if he wanted me to teach it for him. Be like, Avery's mom is coming today to teach the sex unit, you know?
That's so funny.
A great way to embarrass your teenager, you know?
It would have been great though. Like, I would go.
Well, that's exactly it. Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
can we please, like, if people were actually educated around their bodies and sex and the whole realm of like awareness and being with another body, with your body, with another body, and how bodies interact, and you know, like, and what happens when you get right here with somebody and you've got universes of awareness and all these different points of view that are yours or not yours or theirs or not theirs, and you're all aware, you know, there's a lot that it can get very complicated, you know. But if you acknowledge all of those things that are going on and the awareness that is occurring, you know, for you and probably for your partner as well, then there's a whole different space of like not acknowledging it and not going into judgment of any of it. It's like, wow, well, what's available here to be explored, and how can you use that to make your life and your world greater, you know? And the reason I do like to have I'm glad we did that with the prereq for the X-Men class, because the reason I like to have people that have taken an X-Men class of some sort before is because it could just, that conversation, it's like, you know, you get to really dive into this conversation of difference and awareness and, you know, all the things that
Yeah.
can, you know, just make life and living greater, basically.
Yeah, and from an energetic point of view, you know, not even a point of view, but that I just get like, because in an X-Men class, you so get to explore those energetics and then like embody that more. And if you then look at this conversation, it's a whole different conversation than if you would not have done that. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So, and Penelope, I love, like, you know the city of Marseille better than I do. I've never been there.
A little. I know it a little.
A little.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
Probably twice or 3 times, not that much more. And I'm ready to explore more because I know the craving for like nurturance, and there are so many areas there that are possible. It's an intense city, I would say. people in the south of France are intense people. There's so much happening there.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be already hot. So let's see how it's gonna be. But like having these tools, this awareness, this basking in these energies, and having the tools to manage to have more ease with this, and also, and I wanted to also acknowledge the amazing facilitator you are with these energies, because it's all available for everybody. And the way that you include the body, the being, your awareness, and also the tools that you bring in the conversation are really practical and useful. I remember going in a weekend with an ex after a sex and body class, and actually going back with this ex for just a weekend, and he was like, "What happened? What happened?" And I was like, "There is so like less like I was in a point with no judgment with the sex, no judgment with the body, and what he could have chosen before." And it was like, "What is this access consciousness thing? Like, I want to do more now." And I was like, "Oh, awesome! That doesn't get any better than this." So
That's cool.
yeah,
I love it.
I can't wait that we get to see each other and hug each other. And we have French translation and we have Italian translation. The ladies and gents are not here right now, but they are there. And it's also online. So if you do not fancy a trip to Marseille, then you can also join us online. Yeah.
And our venue is beautiful. It's like right on the water, overlooking, quite like this, like overlooking the, but in the ocean, and a marina, like overlooking the water, and beautiful spot. So, and I love that you said Marseille is an intense city, because X-Men are intense. There's an intensity that X-Men have and be, and when you get like, when you have the tools and the awareness and the conversations to allow that to be a spacious intensity, a creative intensity, a generative intensity, rather than just like, I can't handle anything because it's just so intense, but you get to, you have the tools to know what's going on in your own world and recognize a lot of it isn't yours, and just be present with those energies. It's really cool what you can then start to play with and create in your life, and in the bedroom as well, because that is also an area of a lot of intensity for people, and that can be cool, and it can also be so overwhelming, but when you have the tools, it's like, oh, okay, how can I use my intensity to my advantage? What kind of intensity does your body enjoy? What is that for you? And really like letting that be, like, I've had so much of that going on lately for me, just a lot of intensity, and it's been so fun. Not making it wrong, turning up, how I am as an X-Men, who I be in the world, how I create, and really like relaxing into that, the expansion of that. And it's been amazing what's been showing up. And I think I would probably, if I didn't have the X-Men tools, I would probably think I was kind of going crazy, but I actually am like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I finally get to live the like the life, the reality, that is really fun for me. That's true for me, and that is just such a gift that I really wish the world would have. Like, it's why I do this, because I like to bring that too.
And thank you for this ask, because you say this is something that I wish the world would have, and thanks to you, it does. And it's like you have already facilitated a few of these classes, and the more you put them in the world, the more we can explore more, and there is more of this in the world
Hmm.
because of these classes. So
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
And I love what you were saying, Heather, about the X-Men classes, because like for me, one of my favorite things is how the X-Men tools just flip everything on its head, and not
Mhm.
from the right or wrong polarity of it, but from
Yeah.
this completely different like spherical space. And it has happened so many times for me in these X-Men classes with you that the things that I think are so wrong and horrible about me turn out to be this like excuse me, this like amazing gift and capacity. And it's every single time, every class is so different, and it's yeah, it's just such a gift. So I
Yeah.
would invite everyone to just try an X-Men class, give it a whirl, because it has changed everything for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it
And also,
continues.
if you think you're normal, even I always add that to the conversation, because when I got to know the X-Men conversation, the thing I did was like, oh, I can't be like totally defining it. What you started the life with, Heather, you said like X-Men
Yeah.
can't be defined, but
Yeah.
I know so many people, including me, that are like, am I an X-Men? And we're talking about making yourself wrong and being different, and I was like, but I'm normal, you know. And now it's hilarious because I'm like, but then I really thought I was normal, you know.
Me too.
So even if you're like, but I'm like normal, then you know that's also included there, yeah, in this conversation. Now, and also every difficulty you have with your life. So
Yeah.
like, because with you there is like the difficulty is included, but we're not approaching it from the difficulty, we're like
Yeah.
leaping straight into the possibility. But
Yeah.
you can bring in all those questions, whether it is something with your body or your business or your money, and then looking at that and exploring like what is actually the superpower. But I heard that, and even though I heard that, I was like, yeah, that's like, I don't have a superpower, you know. And now I totally acknowledge my weirdness, and how does it get better? But yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so many times people come and they're like, "Oh, I think my kid's an X-Men, but I'm not an X-Men." Like, no
Right.
way. And then they leave and they're like, "Oh my gosh." Like it just creates this whole different universe for them, you know? And I've seen it in your classes so many times. It's
So
just
many times.
magical.
And
Yeah.
even the question of just like if you walk into, like, how many of us walk into a room and know instantaneously what just happened or how everybody
Right.
is feeling, you know. And then I was like, but everybody has that, right? Well, if you're watching this, no, not everybody has that.
Yeah. As a
no.
matter of fact, that is not the case. But that's the thing, is it's such an X-Men way of being, you know, where you're just like, well, yeah, like that's just how it is. Like you don't realize how different it is, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a beauty to that. And then there's also the like where when we do find out it's different, then we judge ourselves and, you know, but it's like getting back to that, like, it's kind of this like naive innocence of like spacious non-judgment, you know, that X-Men naturally be. And I would say these classes like peel back all the layers on top of that and allow us to have that again, you know. And the more I play with these tools, the more I'm just like, I really do feel quite childlike in how I function. And, you know, cause I'm just like, I don't really understand time. I can't really do time. Like it's a little challenging for me.
You mean you're a happy idiot?
Exactly. You know, and it's just like, wow, like the trees are way more interesting to me than anything else, you know? So, and then you
So
get,
there won't be any fun, there won't be any drinks, there won't be any partying, there won't be any celebration or nourishment.
and we'll see how that shows up, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's like, it's just like, you know, for me, it's just like, it's about including the body and everything, you know, because when you include your body, everything gets greater and more fun. So
Yeah, I like the way you include the body and everything. And for me, there was like a way of receiving, like increasing the receiving part, because like when you can receive what you are and the way you function in the world, like all you've been cut from, or what you cut yourself from because it was too intense, not like you didn't know how to handle certain things because it was like so in your face. And when you're like, oh, and what if I just be more? And what if I just like allow it to contribute and not cut myself from this? Like, I have a body, I'm a being, and everything else is here to play. So, and I have amazing tools. Like, who wouldn't start this conversation with the X-Men? Like, who, like, this is my question. Like, why would you not allow yourself to have more of this, more of receiving, more of joy, of
Yeah.
the starting of the conversation of creation, of living, of orgasmic living, of the joy of embodiment.
Boom.
Well,
Mhm.
you're different.
Yeah. What a beautiful invitation to leave it,
Yeah.
there. Like, yeah.
And this lady will be there. This lady will be there. I don't know if Parisha will be there. I will be there, and I'm your hostess for this with Ingrid. And we both know how to have fun. Also, want more of this, like all together. Yes, just contact us. Play on the like Heather Wells website, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nichols.com/events.
I love that.
All right.
Fade
Thanks,
out, fade
ladies.
out.
Thanks everybody now and in the future for being here with us and just playing. It's like the more I do all the things that I do, the more I realize like it's really just is about play. And it's time to just enjoy, and have like these amazing energetic tools and conversations that really allow that with ease, So it's our time. Cool. Thanks everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.